Good day to you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We've been reading in the book of Leviticus. Last time we read chapter 22, and this had various rules for priests and was about animals for sacrifice. Now this time we're ready to read chapter 23, and this is Leviticus chapter 23, and I am reading in the Amplified Bible. The Lord spoke again to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, the appointed times, established feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim as holy convocations, my appointed times are these. For 6 days work may be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of complete rest, a holy convocation, calling together. You shall not do any work on that day. It is the Sabbath of the Lord wherever you may be." So notice that the Sabbath is a day of complete rest, a holy convocation, a calling together. And you notice that's what the Jewish people do. They come together at synagogue, and then we have kind of moved our Sabbath to the first day of the week, to Sunday, and we consider that mainly a day of rest and focus on the Lord. And notice that when Jesus says in the New Testament, he says the Sabbath was made for man, that was to help us. That was to give us a chance to rest and focus on the Lord and draw closer to God. Because why? Because that would be a good thing for us. That is a very good thing for us. It gives us a chance to renew ourselves before we go back out into our daily life and just have that, that work, everyday work that we have to do, and to live our life out in society among the rest of the world. We have several times where the Sabbath is mentioned, and it's very important, but notice that it was really done with us in mind, for us. Jesus says that the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. It was supposed to be a good time for us to rest and recharge and reconnect with our God, and that would prepare us for the week. So I just wanted to make a mention of that here. Continuing on. These are the appointed times of the Lord, holy convocations which you shall proclaim at their appointed times. The Lord's Passover is on the 14th day of the first month at twilight. The feast of unleavened bread to the Lord is on the 15th day of the same month. For 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall have a holy convocation, a calling together. You shall not do any laborious work on that day, but you shall present an offering by fire to the Lord for 7 days. On the seventh day there shall be a holy convocation. You shall not do any laborious work on that day. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you enter the land which I am giving you and reap its harvest, you shall bring the sheaf of the firstfruits of your harvest to the priest. He shall wave the sheaf before the Lord so that you may be accepted. The priest shall wave it on the day after the Sabbath. Now on the day when you wave the sheaf, you shall offer a male lamb 1 year old without blemish as a burnt offering to the Lord. Its grain offering shall be 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with olive oil, an offering by fire to the Lord for a sweet and soothing aroma, with its drink offering to be poured out 1/4 of a hin of wine." Now a hin, I think a hin, it's approximately 1 gallon, so it'd be about 1/4 of a gallon, just in case you're wondering. That's according to the note here. It's not something that I just automatically know because we don't use that measurement. You shall not eat any bread or roasted grain or new growth until this same day when you bring in the offering to your God. It is a permanent statute throughout your generations wherever you may be. You shall count from the day after the Sabbath, from the day when you brought in the sheaf, tied bundle of grain of the wave offering. There shall be 7 complete Sabbaths, 7 full weeks. You shall count 50 days to the day after the 7th Sabbath. Then you shall present a new grain offering to the Lord. You shall bring in from your places 2 loaves of bread as a wave offering, made from 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven as first fruits to the Lord. And you shall offer with the bread 7 unblemished lambs, 1 year old, and 1 young bull, and 2 rams. They are to be a burnt offering to the Lord, with their grain offering and their drink offerings. It is an offering by fire, a sweet and soothing aroma to the Lord. And you shall sacrifice 1 male goat as a sin offering, and 2 male lambs 1 year old as a sacrifice of peace offerings. The priest shall wave them before the Lord as a wave offering, together with the bread of the firstfruits and the 2 lambs. They are to be holy to the Lord for the priest. On this same day you shall make a proclamation. You are to have a holy convocation calling together. You shall not do any laborious work on that day. It is to be a permanent statute throughout your generations, wherever you may be. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not reap to the edges of your field, nor gather the gleaning of your harvest. You are to leave them for the poor and for the stranger. I am the Lord your God. Again the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Say to the children of Israel, on the first day of the 7th month, almost October, you shall observe a day of solemn sabbatical rest, a memorial day announced by the blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. You shall not do any laborious work on that day, but you shall present an offering by fire to the Lord. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Also the 10th day of this 7th month is the day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation for you, and you shall humble yourselves by fasting, and present an offering by fire to the Lord. You shall not do any work on this same day, for it is the day of atonement, to make atonement on your behalf before the Lord your God. If there is any person who will not humble himself on this same day, he shall be cut off from his people, excluding him from the atonement made for them. If there is any person who does any work on this same day, I will destroy that person from among his people. You shall do no work at all on that day. It is a permanent statute throughout your generations, wherever you may be. It is to be to you a Sabbath of complete rest, and you shall humble yourselves. On the 9th day of the month at evening, from evening to evening, you shall keep your Sabbath. Again the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Say to the children of Israel, on the 15th day of this 7th month, and for 7 days is the feast of booths, or tabernacles, to the Lord. The first day is a holy convocation, calling together. You shall not do any laborious work on that day. For 7 days you shall present an offering by fire to the Lord. On the 8th day you shall have a holy convocation, and present an offering by fire to the Lord. It is a festive assembly. You shall not do any laborious work on that day. These are the appointed times, established feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to present an offering by fire to the Lord, a burnt offering and a grain offering, sacrifices and drink offerings, each on its own day. This is in addition to the weekly Sabbaths of the Lord, and in addition to your gifts and all your vowed offerings and all your freewill offerings which you give to the Lord. On exactly the 15th day of the 7th month, nearly October, when you have gathered in the crops of the land, you shall celebrate the feast of the Lord for 7 days, with a Sabbath rest on the first day and a Sabbath rest on the 8th day. Now on the first day you shall take for yourselves the foliage of beautiful trees, branches of palm trees, and boughs of thick leafy trees, and willows of the brook, and make booths of them. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. You shall celebrate it as a feast to the Lord for 7 days in the year. It shall be a permanent statute throughout your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. You shall live in booths, temporary shelters, for 7 days. All native born in Israel shall live in booths, so that your generations may know that I had the sons of Israel live in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So Moses declared to the Israelites the appointed feasts of the Lord. So this was meant to be the Feast of Booths or Tabernacles, was meant to remind them of being in the wilderness of when they had to be brought out of Egypt. So this was to be that kind of a reminder and celebration of that, and a thanksgiving. That would be like a thanksgiving to God for delivering them from Egypt. So I want to thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day. May God bless you and keep you safe. And remember, God loves you.